Hello, welcome to the Daily Live. It's not on the screen, that's all right. Another day, another player. The 8th of August, we are in the week the Premier League season kicks off in. Everton need forward targets very quickly. They need them in. There's obviously concerns over Arnaud Danjuma. We know Dwight McNeil's missing from the weekend. Dominic Calvert-Lewin come through Saturday, should be okay. But wide areas are an issue. Obviously, Everton's still interested in Wilfred Gnonto. But yesterday or last evening, the news got out that Everton had made an inquiry over Patson Daka at Leicester. Early thoughts?
Are they working them way down a list? That's what it feels like, doesn't it? Yeah, 24, 25 this year. Goal return at Leicester wasn't very good, I don't think. 9 goals over 2 seasons. Over 2 seasons, was it, or something like that? It was just poor. Just not particularly someone. Just not someone particularly I would be. I understand when he was at Salzburg, he was a big talent and scored a lot of goals, and obviously we were linked with him then. But it doesn't feel like he's got. I don't know. It doesn't feel like he's got the goals to take us where we need to be. But physically, probably, along the right lines, 6 foot. But again, I mean, he's played games. He played 30 times last season for Leicester, but there doesn't seem to have been much of a return there for him. Again, another, is he below Iheanacho at Leicester? And they're both below Vardy. It's, Vardy who frankly last season I thought was pretty poor, and obviously looks his age now. So I don't know. They're easy targets to look at. I'm not massively excited by it. I don't even particularly look at him and think he's going to get you like 10 to 12 goals. Even as a regular, I don't think he is. So it's a mixed one. I get why you'd be looking at him, especially right now. Why you'd be looking at him, because he fits the profile of a player with 3 weeks left of the window open. So again, what would you be looking at to get him?
15 maybe. 12, 15, 24 years of age, just 68 and 125 for Salzburg in Austria. Someone I like the look of, I won't lie. Liverpool looked at him very closely a couple of years ago before Leicester made the move. There was talk he was going to Liverpool. It hasn't worked for him at Leicester. That's, the goals will tell you that. They've got 9 Premier League goals. Done well in Europe for them in year 1, didn't he? Got 6 or 7 in Europe for them in the first
5
year.
and 6 he got.
Did he? Okay, yeah. So he done all right in Europe. Again, Leicester's, it's weird. Vardy and Iheanacho, Daka, and Rodgers cycled between the 3 of them, really. I don't know whether... I think the theory is at times he's better in a 2. But he is quick. 6 foot, like you say. And he is fast, so already that's an upgrade on other players in the group, isn't it? I don't know. I think it's easy to go, well, he only got 9 for Leicester, so that's it. And that might be right. People who dismiss that may be totally correct. I looked at him and before he got here to England and thought he looked like a centre forward that had a lot going for him. Good movement, good finishing. I don't know whether there's a specific way you have to play to suit him, but he is quick, and I guess when you're looking around, it's difficult, isn't it? Because a lot of those appearances will be sub as well for Leicester, so the numbers will probably be slightly better. We probably need the PIV to give us minutes played. I could probably find it if I look now. Exact minutes played with a goal return, but we do have to remember that ideal strikers aren't there for Everton. Ones with guaranteed goals cost a lot of money, and we quite clearly don't have a lot of money. We've allowed Acor Adams to go to Montpellier for £4.5 million. He was someone who scored a lot of goals, but there was no guarantee he'd come here and score a lot of goals. But for £4.5 million, why are we not? Why were we not in that conversation? Especially if we're looking for a middle striker. You know, the use of Chimiti, that's imminent, isn't it? We've got Dom. So if we're looking for one that's just going to bridge two gaps, then why wasn't it someone that cost £4.5 million? Now, if Everton could get Patson Daka on loan, or Patson Daka with an obligation or something, maybe that would be a reason why they get him. Iniacho, a lot of people have called for. Can he really play in a one? But he is a good goal. You know, he's a good finisher. Again, though, you'd look at his numbers and you wouldn't be banging the drum for him based on his numbers. But people will point out minutes played. I don't feel like there's an ideal Everton centre forward out there right now.
No,
without spending big money or without taking a gamble. You know, keep coming back to Gift Orban, who has got tons of goals in the last 2 seasons. We don't appear to be interested in that, or if we are, it's quiet or it's too much money and we just can't do the deal. So we do have to kind of patch it up at the moment while we make the club more stable and get the club on a better financial footing. Patson Daka score goals in the Premier League, albeit only a few. So yeah, I mean, people can say it's lazy scouting. I get it. But Everton do tend to just look in the Premier League, don't they?
Well, in the Championship.
Yeah, well, he's played the Premier League, hasn't he? So but again, 24 years of age, that still gives me, you know, I remember the player from Austria, and he was quick and a good finisher. And I've seen him score some good goals for Leicester in Europe and that. Now, the Premier League might just be a little bit too physical for him or too quick for him. But I don't know, players with pace tend to score goals in the end. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know whether is there ever going to be a player who, right now, we could get who we're all jumping through hoops to get and we're excited over?
I think physically he fits. I think he fits with having someone up front instead of Dom. I think that side of things he fits. But his goal percentage in the Premier League's poor, isn't it? I mean, that's poor.
Yeah, you can't get away from it.
That's poor. Scoring less in your second season than your first is even worse. Yeah, I don't know. I'll be honest, I think I'd rather go for Che Adams than someone like him. I really would. I think someone who understands the league a little bit more. The problem is, though, is the physical side, isn't it? It's the like-for-likeness of a player. If you lose...
Che Adams only 5'8", isn't
That's what I'm saying. If you lose Dominic Calvert-Lewin, you need someone like-for-like if you're going to play in a certain way. Someone like him is obviously more like that. And to be honest, it's not even like saying the cost. Like, you could go, well, you could get him on loan maybe. But it's like, well, even though you got him on loan, you still got him. So I think we need somebody who's gonna definitely chip in with goals and can't just be a like for like. I think they have to chip in with goals. So I personally, I'd rather we went for someone like Che Adams, who will score, likely to score maybe.
But he's only gonna score similar goals.
I don't know. He's got a better record.
6 last year.
He's got a better record than him.
What's he got?
I look at him and just think. He's one of them. He's got He's got the name from what he did before he was at Leicester. I just don't think he's done anything at Leicester to be excited about more than anything.
Oh well, I couldn't disagree with you. The thing I had for him is all based on him being in Austria and that first season when he was basically a sub for Leicester, but he scored some goals, and in Europe I know he was very good for them. I can't sit here and say you're wrong because you're not. The numbers tell you're not wrong immediately. What I mean is, I look at Che Adams. In fact, I'll just grab his numbers now.
I just don't think Che Adams scores goals. We've looked at one Leicester sub and now we're looking at the next Leicester sub.
That's where we are, don't we?
No, but like, come on, where's the thinking slightly out the box, or where's the?
See, Che Adams has got Zach as his middle name, so and Everton. So I should be all over this fella as I should be championing Big Che. Let's have a look. So Che Adams, 30-4 in his first season in the Premier League, 9-36 in his second season, 7-30 in his third, 5-28 last season.
Yeah.
5.
Yeah.
But he did get 5 in 5 cup games. So,
as I said, it's someone like Daka.
He's 5'9", Daka's 6
the physicality side of things much better. So if that's what you're going for, if that's what you're looking for, then I appreciate that. That's what we want. We want someone who's Dominic Calvert-Lewin's your template, and he's going to fill in. And I get that. I fully understand that. So if that's what they're looking for, and think they can work with that and provide him the tools, then fine. Maybe the tools of the way Leicester played, with a lot of counter-attacking football, with a lot of playing up on your own, pressing from the front, like with that, because that's let's be honest, that's why Vardy played so many games for Leicester, because he presses from the front. And I know he didn't start all the time, Vardy, but what I mean is that's what they were looking for, because Vardy set the example of a player who presses from the front, who scares the opposition into giving the ball away. And maybe he's just not that kind of player, and that's where maybe Iheanacho went wrong as well, because he isn't that type of player. So maybe they had it wrong. Maybe Leicester, they must have had something wrong. They obviously got relegated. So maybe that's where maybe we're looking at it sort of the wrong way round.
No, I think the difference is Dominic Calvert-Lewin, as we saw on Saturday in the first half, holds the ball up very well. There was one thing he smashed into him. I think it was Godfrey. Smashed it into him, and he controlled it on his chest, and he actually got fouled, but he controlled it, protected it, turned, and the lag dragged him down. It was like perfect centre forward play. Ball fired into him, bang down, I've got it. Dom is brilliant at that. Daka's not that. He's not a back to goal centre forward. He's better, like I said before, he's better in it too. But what he has got is he's very quick. So therefore he gives you, what he won't do is as good as Dom will protect the ball for you. But what you can do that maybe Dom doesn't do is spring you around the back and get us in over the top, or get us in with the through ball. Che Adams is a little bit better, but he's back to goal, even though he's a bit smaller. But then the size of him is a few inches smaller. So you're looking at one over the other. Both have got very, like I said, Adams has got 10 over the last 2 seasons, 11, and Daka's got 9. So there's not much between them goal-wise. So it's one over the other, isn't it? Really, looking at it that way. That people will come out with, I guess, he's got 12 and 35 for Zambia. I just feel like he's waiting to pop, though. I feel like there's goals in him. Do you know what I mean? I might be massively wrong. He mightn't be able to do it at this level, but I do feel like, 4 assists, 4 goals last season. I do feel like he's got something in him. 8 goal contributions both seasons in the Premier League. It's one of them. I understand people won't be massively enthused by him, but then again, I look at it and go, well, who then? Who are we? Who are we gonna? Who can we get? Who we're all gonna be buzzing with as a striker for the money? Dom. I keep saying it, and maybe it's why people. White people would say, why do you keep going back to Dominic Calvert-Lewin? Dead simple. The reason why I always go back to Dominic Calvert-Lewin is just we can't get anyone better than Dominic Calvert-Lewin for the money. When Dom's on form and fit, we couldn't afford Dominic Calvert-Lewin right now. That hopefully will change as we move forward, and hopefully the ownership changes eventually, and we get other people in and we start doing things correctly, better recruitment and all of that. And hopefully people like Yusuf Chimiti is part of that. Do you know what I mean? Hopefully he's part of that development, that different style of player. But I just feel like right now when I'm looking around, that's why I kept banging on about Che Adams, because for £4.5 million, But he is a gamble. Listen, the fella might not do anything. He was playing for Leicester, so he might go to France and might be average. But we've seen this, haven't we? Without spending, Manchester United have just spent £70 million on a lad that got 9 goals in Serie A last season. His 9 goals, a great return for a £70 million player. A player Everton had the opportunity to buy for £3.75 million 18 months ago. No, it's not a great return, but they're buying a bit of potential with that as well, isn't it? There's a reason why. Adam Ola-Luchman, for argument's sake, got 13 goals for Atlanta last season, and no one will pay 70-odd million for Adam Ola-Luchman.
Was he playing in the MLS? Was he playing in the MLS?
Who had them up? Sorry, for Atalanta. Atalanta, say 3 times. And 8 goals for Leicester the season before. So, maybe people should be looking at Adam Ola-Luchman again.
Maybe.
But when you look around, what's available? If we're looking in the Championship, people, we've seen Gyökeres. I don't know what you felt about him on Saturday. He just looked like a big bustling lad.
Big fella, wasn't he?
But you sat there going, we should have spent 17, 18 million on him, because I wasn't. I looked at him and just thought, just looks like a Championship big striker. Okay, and I'm not having a go at the lad. I just mean a lot of people were fuming that we didn't pay the money for him. I didn't see anything on Saturday that made me think he would get Everton all sorts of goals. He was a nuisance, and he probably make defenders feel like they've been in a game. Yeah. Where we don't necessarily have that when Dominic Calvert-Lewin's not in the team. No disrespect to any other Everton striker, but we don't. So, I think this one is a tricky one, personally. But I wouldn't be massively against Daka. I wouldn't, because I think the pace would give us a quicker front line than what we have. And sometimes pace is that.
Just, I suppose it just comes down to what we would be getting them for, terms wise. Would it be a loan with an obligation? Would it be, would it just be a loan? Would we pay with a small payments up front? I suppose that's what you're looking at, aren't you? Can Leicester afford to carry 3 forwards like that in the Championship? I don't think they can they? So one of them will be likely.
Well, Crystal Palace like him, don't they, as well?
And they're getting rid of Mateta, aren't they?
Exactly. So I'd rather Everton. Put it this way: if it was him or Mateta, I'd rather Everton than Daka every day of the week.
It'll be the same teams in for him, Che Adams, and a couple of others, won't they? So it'll be interesting to see.
Everton are quite clearly, looking at the Wilfred Nonso appears to be edging closer. Everton are looking at pace, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're looking at pace in the final third, quite obviously. Danjuma, Daka, Iheanacho maybe, and Nonso. There's a couple of other names that have been mentioned as well who were quick. So quite clearly we're looking at that. We didn't have any, and that's music to everyone's ears, I imagine, looking for pace in the final third. And so it fits it when you look at it that way. But again, you're right. It's the terms of the deal will tell you whether it's attractive or not. So we'll see. Adam M says, I understand it's hard to overlook, but if you ignore this time at Leicester, it will be exactly the type of profile we're looking for. Quick, physical, ideal age, good goal record. And if that wasn't enough, he's also been relegated, so he most definitely fits the bill.
You can't ignore his time at Leicester, though, can you? That's the point. You can't ignore it. He's had 2 years in the Premier League. You just can't ignore that. So you can only work with what you've got.
Okay. James says, can't make out the recruitments. We've been linked with Adams, Daka and Iheanacho versus Chimiti and Bill Altore. After the rumours came out the other week, Maupay wasn't the recruitment team's player. Do you think there's still 2 teams recruiting players?
No, I wouldn't say it was 2 teams. I think the manager will have a say, won't he? Ultimately, I don't think there's such a you might still have people trying to worm their way in, but if the manager likes somebody or likes the look of somebody, then maybe he can push that on the director of football or on the owner.
Do we not think that he's obviously Dom's the number one, isn't he? Quite clearly. And and you've got Schmidt coming in, who's a young player with the potential to be our number 9, the size of him. Do you not think the manager's now looking for a safe bet in the middle?
Oh, of course, yeah.
Someone who's experienced.
But that's all they're looking for, isn't it? And that's what I'm saying. That's where it comes. That's why we're hearing these names. We're hearing names of players who could help get 10 to 15 goal contributions. Not goals, goal contributions.
Yeah.
And obviously if Danjuma gets, 7 or 8 and you put them together and you get an extra 15 goals between a couple of players, then that's the numbers they're going to be looking at. They're not going to be looking at safe bets, because there are no safe bets. No. Not where we're looking.
No.
Unless suddenly find an influx of cash or something, but you ain't going to attract them anyway. So you're looking at these types of players and you're trying to get 2 or 3 so that it's you're multiplying it all the time. And if you've got lads who know where the back of the net is, and you've got people who know how to give them the ball as well, then obviously we're going to score a few more. You'd like to think we'd score a few more goals, and that's only going to get you one direction. You hope, and that's up the table.
Absolutely. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't. Thank you very much. Means a lot. Curly says, how big is Daka? 6 foot. I know he's rapid, but I'm not sure if he's big enough to hold the ball up like Dom. I reckon the other Leicester forward will shoot us more, as in Iniacho. I want Suleimani, Nonso and Iniacho. Bit of direct pace on the wings, something we're lacking a lot of. It's interesting one, this the wide players one. Right? Because are Everton really going to bring in Suleimani and Nonso?
No.
Right? Now, I know Damari Gray's going out. Saturday, we haven't had a chat about Saturday, but James Garner's not a right winger, first and foremost.
He could be a right midfielder.
He could be a right midfielder, fair play. Or a right back, or a centre mid, whatever. But I just thought we were so slow going forward. Iwobi was like running into Treacle.
Too many players slowed the game down.
Yeah. The game slowed. That's not saying Iwobi didn't create some chances, because he did, but he did slow the game down. We need to be fast in the transition. So if Gray goes out the door, what are we left with? Dwight McNeil. He's not exactly lightning, but he carries the ball really well and was excellent. So no problem with Dwight McNeil. Danjuma, he's quick and likes to travel with the ball. We haven't got anyone else. So theoretically and ideally, if Damari Gray goes, and he will, then Everton do. If Damari Gray stayed, Everton would still need a direct right winger with pace. So it isn't crazy to assume if Gray goes, Everton would get 2 wingers. Now, if Everton could get Suleimani, brilliant, get him in. But again, he's another one who predominantly plays off the left-hand side. Nonso predominantly plays off the left-hand. So what are we doing? Why are we always going for lads who play off the left? We just don't seem to be able to get a right winger. So I don't know whether we will get Nonso and Suleimani. Personally, I'd love it. Don't get me wrong, because I don't think you can have enough good players and enough fast players. I really don't. So it might be one of those 2. We definitely need another striker on top of Chimiti. Centre back maybe on loan. I know the Harry Maguire thing keeps getting bounced around. I just don't see it. I think they want to sell him. We ain't buying him. So, it will be interesting if Everton can get another couple of loans in. I wouldn't rule out another centre mid on loan, even though I don't think we need it. I think we're quite well covered in centre midfield. I think especially if Alex Iwobi becomes him or Decore to play in the 10, if you like. And then you're left with Onana, Garner, aren't you, for the double, the double 6 really. There, if you go through the squad that way, I think we're okay at left back. I think right back we're more than okay. So in an ideal world, if you're looking at a centre back, maybe, but the manager might say, well, we've got 4 centre backs there, so really do we need to clog it up? 3 attackers really puts Everton in a good position, I think. Can we do it? Who knows? Everton Viking says he used to really like Daka when he played in Austria, but doesn't seem quite up to the Prem level. Although similar to Iniacho, and his goals per game is pretty good, and he is rapid. That's it, isn't it? If he pops, he could be really good, couldn't he? But I guess that's what Leicester had thought. Mark says if it's a loan, I think it's a good deal. There is something in him, just need to get it out of him. Yeah. Gare says feels like our interest in Daka extends as far as seeing if he's available on loan. Not sure what that says about our money, or if we're trying to put money into another area. We're probably just trying to spread whatever we've got, aren't we? And we haven't got a lot. So, Danny says Che Adams over Patson Daka is a mental shout. Sorry, Ped. I think what Ped was meaning is the way Adams plays a little bit more. He's more robust, isn't he?
I don't think it's a mad shout. I don't think it is.
And
a
they've both
shout.
been similar. They've both been similar in the goals.
What I would say about Che Adams is it feels, he's led the line a lot of times for Southampton. Not sure Daka has played. I don't know if he necessarily suits that playing up front on his own the same way Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Che Adams, yes, I appreciate he's smaller than Dom, but he's not like a Mopai. He's not someone who wants to drop in midfield and get involved. He's someone who understands how to, it's how you use him, obviously.
Yeah. Where am I here? Evan Viking says Daka isn't like Dom though. He isn't strong and he isn't physical. I don't know why we're looking at these players. He'll cost 15 to 20 million when we know the bang average instead of taking a chance on someone else for cheaper. It's who though, isn't it? But again, if you're dropping 15 or 20 million on Patson Daka, why don't you go and present the same deal to Gent and ask for Gift Oban?
Because there's a risk, isn't there?
There's a risk, but there's also
no, I know,
but
that's
the thing. Yeah.
Like you said, they want that one player who's got the experience of playing in the Premier League.
Yeah. Absolutely. David says, do we know if we still have any interest in Boulaye Dia? I don't know, to be honest. I know that Everton have looked. I know that Salernitana like Maupay. So that, to me, if you're looking at it that way, seems like a deal that could be done. But who knows? Evan Viking says Che Adams is way more physical than Daka, even though he's smaller. He's stronger and more physical. Yeah. Patrick says, in terms of profile, Adams fits the bill. Sorry, Patrick. More for hold-up play than Daka does. Daka would help more on the break to stretch defences. Unsure he fits if they do want a Don back up, but they may treat Schmitty as that and Daka as an alternate profile. No realistic options are inspiring them. No, well, that's it. Listen, we have just got to get this season. We mightn't like it. We've got to just be stable, and that might mean being really functional. And being functional might be Patson Daka's pace, or it might be Che Adams hold-up play. We can't be snotty. Is that what we're looking at? We can't. I don't think we can turn our nose up at players and go, not for. There's loads of people I think Everton could go and get. I keep saying it. I've said it many times. It's boring. So we're going to keep going back over it. But we're not going to do that, are we? We quite clearly ain't going to do that right now. So we have to get some functionality into our squad in the final third. And that's what it's about. So I don't think there's going to be a player we bring in who we're all going to be massively excited by. Is there? Yusuf Chimiti could turn into that. 19 years of age, just really highly rated. A lot of people do rate him. A lot of people are asking why Sporting have let him go, and it might just be a money issue with them or whatever. But I don't think anyone else we bring in. Nonso might get some people excited if he comes in. But I don't think there's any centre forwards out there that people are going to be, unless they did go and buy Gift Orban. But I think, Big Victor scored against West Ham at the weekend, didn't he? They beat them 4-0. Boniface scored for Leverkusen. He was one we could have got who physically would have been up to the challenge. But we haven't done it, so there's no point going on about that. So we'll see. Boulaye Dia, 26. he's an interesting one. I don't know whether Everton will do it. Frank Rogers says, like you said, Baz not overly excited by him or Che Adams. I'd sooner take a chance on Daka, though. I agree, he might get back to finding the goal, even if he's given a good chance and run of games. You know what, Frank? Sometimes it can be a change of manager as well. The manager can get him in. He'd have to be fit playing for us because that's what they demand. And I don't know. Listen, it's all theoretical, isn't it? But we'll see. Mark says, does Daka play out wide sometimes? I think he'd be a good signing. Said it before, we won't get 20 goals a season forward. We need a few players that can get 5 to 10 goals. Daka and others could do that. He did play wide on occasions for Salzburg, yeah, because he's quick. So I wonder if it's whether he'd get up and down, isn't it? But David said, also seen footage of Chimiti. His hold-up play isn't terrible. No, he shouldn't be either, 6'4". Evan Viking says, if you put a gun to my head out of Daka, Adams and Iniacho, I'd choose Daka just because he has that pace and he's a different profile. Chimiti comes in, but it's not easy. Adams would probably suit us more, though. Eddie says, keep hearing about if we get a winger and a striker, the next target is a centre-back, but no names are being mentioned. What names are being linked, if any? Only really Harry Maguire at the moment, isn't he? I'm not sure who else Everton would be looking at, really. And is it worth bringing in another one just to clog something up? Probably not. Especially, I mean, I don't know what happened with Reece Welsh. I'm not saying he's nowhere near ready, but he is a 6'4" centre-back, isn't he? So whether Everton get him out on loan or whether he plays the first bit of the season in the 21s, but he's there as almost fifth choice, I don't know. But there will be players, don't forget, available at the end of the window.
Yeah,
there will be.
Of course there will.
And therefore, that could end up being where Everton get other players from.
Yeah.
That were not necessarily here today or on the radar right now. You could end up with another 2 or 3 near the end because there's loan slots, and you know what? He actually will help us this season. Who knows? Eugene says, smash the like button and Everton remain in hunt for Leeds winger. Yeah, well, they do, don't they? Brian Ball says, afternoon all, smash the like button. Just press it gently if you want. Don't necessarily need to smash it. Stephen Caldy says, our director of football is worse than Steve Walsh. Okay.
For what reason?
I don't know. Chris Lambert says, the director of football, like Deitch, is working with both hands tied behind his back. He recommended Casido before he went to Brighton. That's not necessarily true because that was Marcel Brands and Mohamed Kudus last year. That's right. It's the board that blocked the deals. No, the board didn't block Mohamed Kudus. I've seen this a couple of times over the weekend. That didn't happen. Ajax blocked Mohamed Kudus. Everton had the deal arranged on the Friday night. The board might have done a lot of things, and they have done a lot of things. They didn't block a Mohamed Kudus deal. That was Ajax. Matt says, I would take Sulemana on loan, but would be concerned about lack of creativity when the AFCON rolls around and we lose the likes of Iwobi and others. That is a concern because we've got quite a few, haven't we? So
3 at the moment, isn't it? To 3.
3, isn't it? So depending on who else we bring in. Yeah. Bobby says, have you guys got a new camera? The stream looks really boss, very colourful and professional.
But yeah, we're using a different camera. We also got much better internet as well a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah. And lighting.
And we got new lights last week as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's what we do. We put the money back into the shows.
Trying to make things better all the time.
We just take money off Ned. That's all it is.
Wormy Spoon says, 4 centre-backs, but 3 are Keane, Godfrey and Branthwaite. So who do we get then? Who do we get that is Everton's number 2 centre-back?
Laporte.
There you go.
Go and get Laporte. That's what I say.
Why not?
Why wouldn't he want to come and sign for us?
Yeah.
He's won everything now.
Yeah. Go and have a different challenge.
Taste of the real world.
Dinosaur, what a name. Says it, afternoon boys, can't believe our front three will probably be out for the first game. Well, Dom won't be out. I hope Tarkovsky's fit soon. I think Tarkovsky, they're very confident he'll be fit for Saturday, so we'll see. We'll see. Dan Zuma, it's only Tuesday. Hopefully, they'll look at him. All the talk was if Saturday was a Premier League game, he'd have played. That's what all the talk was. So hopefully he won't get any worse. We'll see. Adam Slatter, who's a Leicester fan, says watching Daka each week, he's not cut out for the Prem. Fair enough, mate. You'll know better than us having seen him in the Premier League. I'm talking about him being in the Bundesliga in Austria and doing well. Michael 97 says, Onana, Garner and Garner, the commentators are going to hate us. Crimson says Daka would be great if we also have fast wingers. Now Michael says Nonto is way too good for the Championship. Saw that on Sunday. Didn't he split opinion on Sunday? I seen some people saying he's awful, but then I seen other people saying he's exactly what Everton need. But he did play up front, didn't he? But we'll see. Wormy says Che Adams starts for Southampton. His stats as a starting striker are pretty much Maupay level.
Oh, yeah, but he's a different kind of player, isn't he? Again, it's what he offers the team, isn't it? I think what we're saying about a lot of these players is they ain't going to score loads of goals, but it's what they offer the team. We aren't going out and buying a 15-goal season striker, are we? Unfortunately, we're looking for someone who doesn't change the style of play too much and brings other people into the game.
One large individual says we need pace in the side. The end. Yeah. You see, the thing is, Wormy, saying I like Daka, but 20 million, it's a gamble. I'm not convinced it is 20 million, by the way. Leicester might need him off the wage bill for the season, mightn't he? So it could be a loan. I don't know. I mean, we've just heard the Leicester fan there question whether he's good enough for the Prem. So we'll see, wouldn't we? One large individual says if Gray can get 6 or 7 in a woeful side, Daka can get McNeil numbers. As
Gray didn't get 6 or 7, though, did he?
Got 4 last year.
He got 2.
He got
2 in
well, hang on. He scored 6 goals.
He got
overall.
2 in the Premier League.
And 2 in the Cups, didn't he? So he got 6 goals.
Got 2 from open play.
And 2 penalties. Yeah. And he scored a pen at Forest and a pen against Brighton. And then he scored against Fleetwood and he scored at Bournemouth in the Cup. Yeah. Cato wants Welch. She's 6'6".
Phil Jones is available on a free.
No.
No? Okay.
No. We don't need that. Do we? Southern Blue Dino says I would still try to get Brian Brobby and Suleimani. Maybe they will. Maybe they will go back. We'll see. We will see. Sambo says Kudus going to Brighton. Yeah, 40 million or something, isn't it?
Fair play.
But City want Matoma, don't they? So they reckon if they go for him, he's gone. So Kudus will maybe just go and play out there or whatever. John Jones says we'll pay 100 grand a week to Low Maguire and don't play Branthwaite. Typical Everton. We won't get Maguire. They want to sell Harry Maguire. Don't want to loan him to Everton, do they? Yeah, he will end up probably at West Ham. Liam says apparently Burnley want Nonto. They don't seem to be messing around in the transfer window. Well, they've got no issues, have they? They've got a big pot of money that they didn't have in the Championship. But he's not going to go to Burnley, is he? I don't think, anyway. And without being disrespectful to Burnley, they've got to spend money to even have any chance of staying up, haven't they? You know, speaking to Burnley fan yesterday at the overlap, and they're just like, it feels different because we've got company, we play nice footy, but we won't be able to play the way we did in the Championship and the Premier League. So, you know. Here. Cheers, Scott. Scott going to be watching more. He's been busy of late, but going to be watching more and more. Dinosaur says, Phil Jones on a free, you say? We can't want Phil Jones, surely.
I was just looking at the free list, if I'm honest.
Oh, fair play.
Just looking at who's available.
The Blues says Somerville has always been the one out of Leeds, proper right side for once. We were mentioning with Crescencio, weren't we? Crescencio. Why not? Ian says, what's happening with Pepe at Arsenal? Could be a decent loan. Isn't he? Yeah, he's moving.
Yes, he's going to Galatasaray.
Galatasaray. Turkey, innit? Off they go. Ryan says Teller and Maatsen have left Burnley as well. They were big players for them. They were. Teller scored the other night, didn't he? For Southampton. Yeah. People talk about centre backs. I have no idea who deal. Because I've no idea who we could get who would go into our team instead of the lads we've already got there. I'd rather Brantwaite just played. I know I'd heard your thing. I was a bit surprised. Your take on Brantwaite, I thought he was sound. But
we had this yesterday.
Oh, well, I did. I mean, I literally was saying it. The kid didn't put a foot wrong. He was sound. No issue whatsoever with him. There was other players I had more of an issue with, but Ben Godfrey was... Bits of him were good, and other bits, I don't know why he was playing right back and leaving a big gap, but then Michael Keane is here. You can't have him. And so there's all, at the centre-backs who were available. If you could get Maguire, then of course, I've seen people going, would he get in that? He'd walk into our team, wouldn't he? Alongside Tarkowski, but Brantwaite, you've got to make a decision on him at some stage. You either play him and see if he can get fully up to speed, or you sell him. There's interest there. We can get money for him. I mean, I wouldn't sell him, but I'm saying they're your choices, because I don't know. When I look around at centre-backs, who are we really going to go and get now? So, Mark enjoyed the overlap. That poor Sheffield United. Yeah, I felt for him. He was basically like, we've got no hope, we're down. Sold all our players, we don't buy anyone, we're relegated. There's not a chance we stay up.
Fair play to him.
I was like, all right, fair play, mate. Nice lad, but he was depressed already. I was like, well, just enjoy it, because you've battled to get here, you know. And he was kind of saying like the aim will be get the money and then try to get back up in kind of like a year time when 2 years time when you're stronger again from that position without overstretching. And they have big debts they've got to pay off, he said. So they kind of like making their peace with. And I think Luton as well. James, the Luton lad, he was another one who's like, we're down, but we're just going to enjoy every game and hopefully with the aim to come back up in a better place in 2 seasons. So, Steve says, all right, lads, hope you're both well. Quick question for both of you. Are you surprised they haven't got the forward situation sorted? The owner said 6 months ago we'll get a striker, and we're still waiting. Is it the recruitment issue or the owner not providing the funds?
It's hard to say, isn't it? I think we all know it should have been sorted, but they haven't. So, are the recruitment team stupid enough not to have made it the number one priority? I doubt it. Everything feels like it was being pushed back because of the situation with the end of the season, which I still find mad. I still find it mad when people say, well, we couldn't do this because we didn't know what league we were in. Well, you have 2 lists. It's not hard. But obviously you can't push forward for people if you know. But if the money's not there, then what market are you shopping in? That's the problem, isn't it? And are they being told? Are they really being told what the budgets are properly? You've had a change of board. Again, communication. Are they talking to each other properly? Do they know what they need? Do they know who's going to be leaving the club? Did he have to wait till he let people go? So did he know how much they were going to get for certain players? And was it a case of we had to wait till like Sims had gone and a few more young players, and maybe they were waiting for a big one like Onana to be sold or something? So if you've got no money, you're always at a disadvantage, aren't you? You're always at a disadvantage. That's why other clubs can go straight in, get the deals done, pay what the clubs want them. You know, speaking to Joe Thomas yesterday, it's over the interviews over on the Premier, over Toffee TV Premier. You know, when he was saying similar, it's like, if you're in a 2-horse race, you're gonna come second. You know, if Everton had had, he was saying if Everton had had a free run at Toure, they would have got Toure, but they didn't, so they weren't, and that's the problem. They've put all the work in to get the players, but if another club's involved, the other club are gonna get them. It's as simple as that. So it makes it very difficult. Everton could get 99% done on a deal, and another club could just swoop in and finish it off, and that's where Everton are. That's why it's got to be very careful about the information we hear, and it not getting out too soon. You know, that's why I'm surprised Schmidt's still signing for us, because it's been out for over a week. But there you go, get it done.
Yeah, absolutely. Like last few, Joseph wants to know where he can find your water bottle.
My water bottle or my coffee bottle? My coffee.
I think he means that one.
This is from a company called Corksicle.
Jimmy Corksicle.
They're online.
There you go. Check that out.
They are nice. They are good. Coffee's still warm, dead warm, and I made it over an hour ago.
Been linked with Trevor Chalobah, haven't we? From Chelsea, the centre back. He'd be good if Everton could get him in on loan. He's got that turn of pace. He's a big lad. Whether he'd come, I don't know, but he would be one.
Wolves are in talks with the manager about terminating his contract.
He's going, isn't he? Yeah.
Gary O'Neill.
They're in big trouble. Wolves.
Gary O'Neill replacing him.
I believe so. Yeah, they're in huge trouble. Don't score goals. Last 2 seasons they've hardly scored. Make us look like prolific. They're in huge trouble. Massive money problems there as well, I believe. So he's going. Bazped, don't you think Pirro would be good for us?
Sign a new contract, isn't he?
Not convinced.
No, not for the money.
Scored goals, but he's slow and he's physical, but he's a good finisher. Could he do it in the Premier League? It's all about a little bit of pace, isn't it? I don't know. The Blues, Dick Godfrey actually played. No, what I mean is positioning, put him in the right back spot so many times on Saturday and left a big gap by Taki. And Thingy gets Gyökeres went and played on him rather than standing next to Tarkovsky. That's normally an indication if one follows you around. But Ben Godfrey, I still think there's someone in there, a player, but he's got to be played where he needs to play. The pace is good. He's got to take his opportunity now, because it's the seasons are just jumping into the next one, and we're still going. Where should he play? That's not good. He's got to nail down that position, and maybe the manager will think putting him next to Godfrey and off we go, because he's got pace and Godfrey's more fit. Maybe that's how he'll go. Have to see. Keith says rather have just kept Mina.
We were never keeping Mina though, were we? Let's be honest.
No.
Not for the money.
Not at all. Someone said Maguire was brilliant at Leicester. Yeah, he was good at Leicester.
Yeah, go to West Ham.
Yeah. Keane says, do you reckon Chelsea would be willing to loan Hudson-Odoi out? Well, he's only available for £5 million. Fulham are going to get him, I think, aren't they? That's why I think he wants to stay in London. But we'll see. Steve, now I'm saying about centre-backs is, are we really going to go and buy a centre-back when we've got Branthwaite? That's what I'm saying to you. There will be, of course, there's lots of centre-backs available. There's a big world out there. The same as I say for wingers and strikers. There's a huge world out there. But are Everton going to go and buy a centre-back when Branthwaite's there? If he's the lad we're putting hopes on. It's why Johnny Evans would make sense. And again, this was the other week and I was going, what? But now the more I think about it, he's experienced and he could just be number 3 and be watching Branthwaite. Someone like that, not Phil Jones. I don't know. Of course, there's defenders out there. I'm just saying, me personally, looking at it, We haven't got money to go and buy one who's about to pop, have we? So, who's the next one you get? Should we have gone for Raul Jimenez? No, I don't think so. Rob Holding is cheap. Don't know.
I'm not a particular fan.
No. How come Forest can buy players if they can't pay wages, says Peter Finn?
I don't know.
No, they're another one there. It's about to come crashing down on them, I think. Adam says no shirt number for Lukaku with Chelsea. Where's he going to end up?
Juventus.
He probably will just go to. He's been talking for 4 months, they said.
They got 2 years ago.
Laporte, don't play with my heartbeat. Derek says sure links to Chalobah, wouldn't mind that. Jazz says streams looking mint today, lads. Good work on the new kit. 1,000 viewing the stream. Can almost taste the pain of the new season. Rob says, lads, what's your thoughts on ex-players or other clubs? For example, when a young Scouse lad turns up at another club, it's always out at Everton, Liverpool miss him. I was listening to Davey Weir on Sky before. I believe he's their technical director. Very well spoken, intelligent, clearly doing a great job. Shouldn't that have been something we were all over? We were all over it, and he was coming, believe it or not. And then Brighton knew that Dan Ashworth was about to leave for Newcastle, so they offered Weir the technical director job there, which was obviously better than the job at Everton he was being given. So, and he was already at Brighton, so he ended up staying at Brighton. And he is very intelligent. We know that. Knows his footy, but he was coming to Everton. But the Dan Ashworth thing ruined it, basically. So, damn you, Newcastle. Right, we are done. Hit the like, subscribe. Stay where you're at. We'll be back on More Than a Game in 5 minutes, doing the rest of the transfer news from today. So just stay. Don't talk about.
So much.
Stay. Get a drink. Stay where you're at, and we'll be there in.
They got like a waiter.
Do whatever.
How can they stay where they are but get a drink?
Just leave it on.
Okay.
And get yourself a drink and get ready to watch.
Good
See you in a
stuff.
minute. Be good.
Hey, you.